So the longer you wait to act, the harder it's going to be. So you don't need a better plan. You need a better perspective because perfectionism isn't a productivity issue. It's a belief issue. Welcome to Remix Moments with Martine, where we will remix your mindset one moment at a time. I'm your host, Martine Williams, and I'm here to bring you a quick burst of inspiration, insight, and a fresh spin on your mompreneur journey. In just a few minutes, we'll remix your mindset, energize your day, and keep you moving forward with purpose. Let's dive in to today's moment. Well, hey, friends, and welcome back to Life Coaching for Mompreneurs. I am your host, Martine Williams, and your CEO, your Chief Encouragement Officer. And listen, if you've ever found yourself rewriting an email 5 times, hesitating to post because it's not perfect, or pushing back a launch because your plan doesn't feel flawless yet, this episode is for you. And as I'm explaining and sharing those things with you, let me just say that this is an area of mine that is constantly in the works because my natural personality trait lends itself to perfectionism. So that's what we're talking about today. It's something that's silently draining your energy, stealing your time, and making your business and life way harder than it needs to be. That's what perfectionism does. And the problem is it's exhausting. Like, let's be real. Perfectionism wears a disguise. It shows up as, well, I just have high standards or attention to detail, or I just wanting to get it right. Like, have you said any of those things? I know I have. And it's just a disguise for me wanting to make it perfect, for you wanting to make it perfect. Because underneath it all, it's fear. It's fear of being judged, fear of getting it wrong, fear that if it's not perfect, you're not enough. But perfectionism doesn't protect your reputation. It delays your results. It doesn't protect your reputation. It delays your results. It keeps you tweaking instead of launching, thinking instead of acting, busy, but not making progress. And let's not forget, again, it's exhausting. It's exhausting to keep tweaking and trying to get it right. And there's a right way and there's a wrong way. Like, that's a lot of yours mentality. And I know it's been mine off and on as I've been an entrepreneur for 20 years, because no matter how close you get, it's never good enough. If you're in that perfectionistic loop, it's never good enough. But here's the truth. You don't need more polish. You need more permission. So I want to give you her permission today to show up as you are, to launch the product as is, to do your first Facebook Live without all of the filters and the captions and all of the things. Just show up as you are and let that be enough. Because when you're stuck in perfectionism, you probably try to push through it. So these are some things that I have found either myself I've done or I've seen my clients do to try to fix perfectionism. Is we just try to push through it, right? By over preparing. So you prepare and you prepare and you prepare and you over prepare and you prepare because you don't want to get it wrong. And you spend more time in preparation mode than you do in activation mode and actually doing the thing. Or maybe you're rewriting and revising endlessly. Like, you have rewritten that email how many times and revised that landing page or that post that you need to put on social media. Like, you're just constantly rewriting and revising endlessly. You're constantly jumping into ChatGPT and saying, make this better, make this better, make this better. Another way that you have tried or that I've tried and it doesn't work is procrastinating under the pressure to get it just right. And so it's easy to justify our procrastination when we're like, well, I just have to get it right. And I've shared this story on the podcast before, but if you're new here, I wanted to share this. So when I first launched my first course, it was called Choose You, and it was 5 steps to helping you make yourself a priority without feeling guilty. And I had recorded all of the videos and the modules, had all the PDFs, all the worksheets to go along with it, had the sales page, like everything. And I remember it was the day of I was supposed to go live and launch it. And I remember like all of these thoughts started flooding my mind about, well, it's not ready. What if this happens? How are you going to handle this? Like, is the back end technically ready? You know, all the technology. And I just had lots of thoughts about all of those things. And so I was talking to a friend about all of this, and she said, Martine, you're being selfish. And I thought, what? I'm like, I'm not selfish. I'm literally the least selfish person that I know. Like, what are you talking about? And she was like, you have something that could change the life of so many women. And because you're trying to make it perfect, no one's being helped. And let me just tell you, like, that lit a fire under my tail. And I was like, well, I don't want that. Like, I want to help people. That's why I do what I do. Like, that's my number one driver for my coaching and this podcast and the emails that I sent. Like, if I help one person today, then I've done my job. And so just the thought that I was being selfish and not helping other people allowed me to overcome that perfectionism. But it is what it is when you are procrastinating or trying to make it perfect, trying to get it just right. So another one, and actually, like, I didn't finish that story. So after she said that to me, I literally got off of that phone call and pushed go live on Facebook and launched it. Like, I just couldn't stand the thought of withholding information that was going to help someone else because I didn't feel like I was ready or I didn't have it right. Like, that was so selfish of me to think about it in that way. And sometimes we need those people who are able to see the things that we can't see, because I can tell you in that moment, I did not think I was being selfish. I felt like I got to get it right for them. When in all reality, they don't care. They don't know what's right is. They just know they have a problem, and they know they're not where they want to be. They're not feeling what they want to feel. And I can help them with that. And I still have to remind myself of that today because it's still part of my personality to do it well and to pay attention to the details and make sure that everything is lined up. Now, I'm not saying do things unorganized and completely messy and hot mess express, but I will say that doing it in a messy way and doing it is better than not doing it at all and not helping the people that you want to help and not getting your message out there and not sending that email and not having that conversation. So another way is that you try to force yourself into following someone else's plan because it looks polished. So you see someone on social media that you're following, and maybe, hopefully not, but maybe you look at me in that way and you think, oh, I got to do it the way Martine's doing it because it looks polished and it looks perfect and she looks like she has it all together. And that doesn't work either because you have your own unique strengths to bring to the table. You have your own unique voice and message and the way you talk to people and the way that you show up as a mom and a wife. And, you know, just because you see someone else using this plan, and this is what I love about the work that I do with my clients, is there's no cookie cutter plan. There's the plan that you feel empowered and excited and desire to do and to work, and that works with you and your personality, not against you. So you maybe have forced yourself to follow someone else's plan because it looked polished. And again, one of the identities that I am working on currently to remove, or remove sounds negative, but to just self-concept that I'm trying to raise of myself is I'm a person who, you give me the plan and I follow the plan, I work the plan, and if you show me this is the plan that'll get you from here to here, and like I want to follow that because my brain wants to be lazy. My brain doesn't want to think about what could the plan be for me. How do I want to have a business, right? What do I want my business to look like? How do I want to market? How do I want to sell? There's thousands and thousands of different ways to market and sell your business. And yes, there are some times where there's a proven plan, and I talk about that with my coaching too. But at the end of the day, you being able to actually do the plan comes down to your desire and preference and comes down to being in alignment with your strengths. Hey friend, let's talk. It's time to book your clarity call. we are going to spend 1 full hour focused on you. A clarity call isn't about pressure. It's about possibilities. It's about you. You having a space to talk through what's on your heart and mind, you walking away with a clear vision and practical next steps, and you feeling confident in what's next and how to get there. You don't need to have it all figured out. That's my job. All you need to do is show up and we'll figure it out together. This is the best hour you can invest in yourself right now. Not in 6 months from now, not next month, right now. And don't just take my word for it. Here's what one of my coaching clients had to say after working together.
Working with Martine helped my confidence in starting and growing a new business. I had an idea of what I wanted to do, but I wasn't quite sure how to accomplish it. Martine helped me work through my ideas based on the results of my ProScan, and having weekly calls really helped me stay focused and working toward my goal. I highly recommend working with Martine for those who want to grow their business or who are just getting started. Having that focused time to work and work together is priceless.
That transformation, it starts with one conversation. It's time to stop spinning your wheels and start making real progress. So head right now to martinewilliams.com or in the show notes and grab your private clarity call spot on my calendar before they're gone. And since I personally monitor my inbox, if you don't see a time slot that fits your calendar, just send me an email at martine@martinewilliams.com with 3 times that do work, and I will make it work for you. All right, friend, let's get back to the show. So forcing yourself to follow someone else's plan does not work for perfectionism when you're stuck in perfectionism. You might think, if I just plan more, prep more, or get more organized, I'll finally feel ready. How many of you have said that? I'm laughing because I've said those things so many times. But the truth is, perfectionism feeds on that cycle. It's literally a cycle that you'll just stay in. You end up doing more, overthinking more, and in the process, feeling less confident. And the longer you wait to act, the more you doubt whether you ever should. Like, the more you think about it and the more that you process it, the longer you wait to act, the more doubts creep in. And you're like, well, maybe that's not a great idea. Maybe I don't need to do it. Then you go back into learning and you go back into trying to create new ideas, because here's the thing. Your brain loves knowledge. It's safe to be learning. It's not safe to be taking action, which is why it's hard, it feels hard to do. So the longer you wait to act, the harder it's going to be. So you don't need a better plan. You need a better perspective, because perfectionism isn't a productivity issue. It's a belief issue. And that means we need to shift from proving mode, proving that you're right, proving that you got it all together, proving that you've paid attention to all the details, proving that you have this perfectly polished business, into progress mode. Because progress creates more progress. When you feel like you're making progress and you're moving down the path, that creates more movement. So action creates clarity, clarity creates confidence, and confidence creates more action. That's the cycle. That's the loop. But you have to take action first. So many of you are waiting on clarity and waiting on feeling ready versus just taking action and learning along the way, because that doesn't feel good. It doesn't feel comfortable, and it won't. And if you're waiting to feel comfortable and you're waiting to feel ready, you're going to be waiting for a very long time. So the solution is, what if we stopped chasing perfection and started creating momentum? Like, just think about that for a second. If you stopped chasing perfection and getting it all right, and there's a right way to do something, and just started creating momentum, what would that look like for you? So I teach my clients to adopt a new rhythm, and one that's built on progress over perfection, because perfection is a moving target. So many of you keep moving the target because you're like, this is the right target. Well, no, that didn't feel good, or no, I'm not sure how to do that, so I'm going to move the target again. And so if have you ever tried to hit a moving target? Can you imagine a dart and the dartboard just keeps moving? Like, how hard it would be for you to hit the bullseye. So perfection is like a moving target, but progress, that's measurable. You throw the dart the first time, you can see how far off from the bullseye you are, and then you can make an adjustment. So instead of moving the target, throw the dart and then see where you're off, and then you can make progress. You can make adjustments. That's measurable. Progress is encouraging. They say that's the number one motivation for people is seeing progress over money or status. Progress is sustainable. Perfectionism is not sustainable. And progress actually leads to the results that you want. So when you start focusing on progress, creating momentum over perfection, you stop tying your worth to how much you get done or how perfect it looks when you do it. And you stop burning out and you start building a business and a life that feels aligned, not just impressive. So inside my coaching, we don't just talk about letting go of perfectionism. We actually create a plan for it. And it's called the POP plan. That's my progress over perfection plan. And this is where we simplify your goals into aligned actions. We define your non-negotiables and help you consistently take action that actually matters, right? Because some of us, we get busy doing things that don't actually matter. They feel better, they feel good, they feel easy, but what actually matters sometimes is doing the hard thing. And again, our brain doesn't want us to do the hard thing. It wants us to stay in the comfort zone. So taking action that actually matters without the overwhelm or unrealistic expectations of getting it right, doing it perfect, having all the details. And then we pair that with your energy management plan because doing less of what drains you and more of what fuels you is key to making real progress that lasts. And understanding your energy level and your energy style, which is something that will be illuminated for you on that I illuminate for my clients with their Pro Scan, your personality blueprint that we illuminate. Like, y'all, that is so much valuable information to know how to manage your energy. Managing your energy management is the new time management. We all have the same amount of time in the day, but we all have different levels and styles of energy and how we approach doing our task. And knowing that about yourself changes the game. It's what will keep you making real progress that lasts. So we look at your strengths, your natural energy patterns, your capacities. So you're working with yourself and not against yourself. I was just having this conversation with a client today. Together, these two plans help you make decisions from peace, not pressure, and make consistent, life-giving progress. And that's what you want. And that's what I want. I want to be making progress. I want to see that the effort that I'm putting in matters, right? But if the bar is so high of perfection, then it's never going to feel like enough, no matter what progress you make. So what happens when you ditch perfectionism? Here's what happens when you stop chasing perfect and start showing up with aligned action. You start finishing the projects that matter, doing them messy and starting them doing them anyway. You reclaim the time and mental space because you're not stuck in the loops of overthinking and tweaking, overthinking and just on repeat. So you reclaim your time and mental space back. Like, decision fatigue is a real thing. And when you're constantly thinking and overthinking and tweaking and all of those things, it can create so much mental exhaustion for you. You feel proud of what you're building and not just tired from building it. And best of all, you stop proving and you start creating from a place of purpose and peace. If you're living in proving energy right now, and we've talked about this on the podcast, but it's exhausting to live in proving energy versus confident energy that I'm taking my next step with the information that I have at the time, and I can always change direction. This shift doesn't just happen. This shift doesn't just change your to-do list. It changes how you feel about yourself, your work, and your life. It's not about your to-do list. It's not about all the things that you have to get done. It's about how you feel about yourself while you're doing it, while you're doing your work, and while you're living your life. So if you've been trapped in perfectionism, I want you to know this. You don't need more polish. You don't need more tweaking and reevaluate. Like, you don't need more polish. You need a plan, not a perfect plan. You just need a plan, a simple plan, a plan that honors your strengths, protects your energy, and moves you forward one aligned step at a time. And if you want help building that plan and finally letting go of perfectionism for good, let's talk. This is what I do. So I want to encourage you to go to martinewilliams.com/clarity and book your free clarity call. And let's map out your next aligned step together. We're going to get clear with where you are. Are you in the perfectionistic loop? Maybe not. Maybe there's something else, but we'll figure that out together. And then we're going to figure out where you want to go, because that's a big question. A lot of people can't answer what they just know they don't want what they are, where they are right now, but they don't know where they want to go. And we need to get a little bit clearer on that. And then a process to help you get there. So martinewilliams.com/clarity. And remember, progress is greater than perfection every time. I appreciate you listening. I appreciate you sharing the show, leaving a rating, leaving a review, and I will catch you on the next episode. Well, that's it, friends, for this remix moment. Thanks for spending a few minutes with me, and I hope that you are feeling inspired and ready to take on whatever comes your way. Remember, even small moments can lead to big changes. If this moment made a difference, be sure to subscribe, share with your fellow moms, and leave me a quick review. Seriously, it means the world to me to hear from you. And until next time, I am believing in you, and I will catch you in the next moment.